Welcome to our third derivatives lesson. In this lesson we're going to develop some vocabulary to talk about options. So first we're going to talk about options in terms of payoff. So an option is called in the money if that option was exercised at the current spot price, then it would have a positive payoff. It's called out of the money if the option was exercised at that spot price, it would have a negative payoff. And it's called at the money if the option being exercised would produce a zero payoff. So let's look at some examples here. For each of the options below, we want to determine in the money, out of the money, or at the money. And also determine the profit ignoring interest. So all the options are going to be long on the same asset which has a spot price of $50. Okay, so first we're looking at a 55 strike call and it's got an expiration of 3 months. Now actually the expirations are not going to play into the problem here because we're ignoring interest. Okay, so these expiration times are not going to matter. All that matters is the strike, the spot price, and the issue premium. So in the first part of the problem here, we have a call, a long call at $55, $55 strike price, and the premium was $4. Now the current spot price is $50. So think about this. Am I going to exercise the call? Remember that a call is a right to buy. And remember here that the payoff for a call is the max of 0 and spot minus strike. Okay, and this is for a long call. That's your payoff. So the payoff here is going to be positive if the strike price is less than the spot price, and it's going to be negative if it's bigger. So in this case, the market price is $50. We have a right to buy that for $55. We're not going to do that. If we did, we'd have a negative payoff. This would be 50 minus 55. Okay, so this option is out of the money. That's an out of the money option. And then here they're asking us to determine the profit. Okay, well the profit is going to be the payoff minus financing cost for a long call. Okay, so this much is the payoff here, and then you would subtract off the accumulated value of your call premium. And we're ignoring interest, so here we would just subtract off the call premium. So in this case, we would have, if we did exercise at this price, we would actually have a loss. Okay, because we have the strike price of 55. So if we exercised at 55, our profit is going to be the max of 0, and the market price is 50 minus the strike price is 55, and then we'd subtract off our premium, which is 4. Okay, so this would be negative 5. So the max of 0 and negative 5 is going to be 0 minus 4 is negative 4. And that means that we are not going to exercise the call. Okay, so that's assuming we don't exercise. If we did exercise it, we would incur another $5 of loss here. Okay, and then next we've got a long call for $40. Okay, well the market price is $50. We've got a right to buy for $40. Okay, so you are in the money if you're going to make money in exercising that. If you're going to have a positive payoff. Okay, here we would have a negative payoff if we did exercise. It would be the negative $5. And here we don't, though. We've got a right to buy for $40. So this is in the money because we'll have a positive payoff if we did exercise. And that payoff would be the max of 0, and then the spot price is 50, and the strike price is only 40. So that's $10. Max of 0 and 10 is 10, and we subtract off our $9 premium. So this is 10 minus 9, which would leave us a profit of 1. So now that's a 1-year call. So it may be that this price could go up more than $10 in a year. That's actually why the cost is quite a bit higher here too, $9. Next up, we've got a put. The strike price is $60 and the premium is 6. Okay, so remember for a long put, let's put that up here, that our profit is the max of 0 and now strike minus spot. So this is going to produce a positive payoff if the strike is larger than the market price. And that makes sense because this is a right to sell. We can sell at the higher price and the market price is lower. We could sell at the strike price and then we could turn around and buy at the market price. We could realize a profit. So here our strike price is 60 and our market price is 50. So that's going to yield a positive payoff if we were to exercise that. So this one is in the money. And our profit here is going to be the max of 0. And then it's strike minus market. Okay, so our strike price is the 60. And our market is the 50. So that's 0 and 10. Max of 0 and 10 is 10. And then here we have to take off our accumulated value, future value of our premium. In this case that was P for a put, future value of P. And here we're ignoring. So we're going to take off 6. So max of 0 and 10 is 10, minus 6 is 4. So that would be a $4 profit there. Next up, we've got a long put for $45. Okay, so we've got a right to sell it for $45, but the market price is $50. So if we exercise that, we'd have a $5 loss per contract. So this one is out of the money. We are not going to exercise. So our profit in this case is going to be the max of 0. And 45 minus 50, which is 0, minus 3 is negative 3. Okay, because we would not exercise. If we did, we'd have an additional $5 of loss there. And now we've got a long call. The strike price is 50. Market price is also 50. This one is at the money. And if we were to exercise here, our payoff would be 0 because this is going to be the max of 0 and 50 minus 50. Either way, that's 0. But if we exercise, then we're going to lose the accumulated value of 7 here, which leaves us a $7 loss. So in the money, you can make money if you exercise at that point in time. Out of the money, you would lose money if you exercise at that time. And at the money, you would break even. That's excluding your premiums. Okay. Now, and I noted this as I was kind of talking through these, your options are only going to be executed when it's profitable, including transaction costs. And then only when the purchaser requests an execution. So if you have an option, if you own an option on stock and you want to execute your agreement, you have to electronically request that. Now, some brokerage houses, they have it set up so that options that are in the money are automatically executed. But you would want to be very careful about that, because usually you have to give an instruction to execute. Because so many times options are not executed; they are traded as if they were just stocks. They're traded for their market value. So people try to either buy low and sell high, or to sell high and buy back low if they open a short position. You can also categorize options by the position that they hold in the underlying asset. And here, a long position is one that's going to benefit from a price increase in the underlying asset. Short position is one that will benefit from a price decrease. So you hold a long position if you're betting that prices will go up. You hold a short position if you're betting that prices will go down. Okay, so let's look at the type of contract. So if you have a forward contract, then the long party is obligated to buy at the forward price. So if they're obligated to buy at that fixed price, then we want to ask, okay, what is their position in the underlying asset? Are they going to benefit from a price increase, or are they going to benefit from a price decrease? Well, say the forward price is $100. Okay, if the price increases up to $200, then they're obligated to buy at $100. That price increases up to $200. That benefits them because they buy at that discounted price, that locked-in price of $100. They could turn around and sell the asset in the open market at $200 and realize a profit. So here we benefit from a price increase. Okay, so this is a long position in the underlying asset. The short position in a forward is obligated to sell at that forward price. So if the forward price is 100, you're obligated to sell at 100. So if the price goes down to 50, you've got an obligation to sell at 100. So you'll sell at 100, and the asset is really worth only 50. So that price decrease actually benefits you, because you're getting a higher price than what the asset is worth. So you benefit from price decreases if you're short a forward. So that's also going to be short the underlying asset. So just kind of think through what happens if the price increases or the price decreases on the underlying asset. With a call, if you're long, that is, you've purchased a call, you've got the right but not the obligation to buy at the strike price. So you could buy, but you're not obligated to buy at the strike price. So let's play what if again. What if the strike price is 100? Okay, so you've got the right to buy at 100. Okay, now what if prices increase? What if the price of the asset goes up to 200? Does that benefit you? Well, you've got the right to buy at the strike price of 100. If the asset goes up to 200, you could exercise your call, buy at 100, and turn around and sell it in the open market for 200 and make a profit. So you'll benefit from a price increase. So that is a long position. If you are short, or if you write a call, then in that case you have an obligation to sell at the strike price if the buyer exercises. And the buyer is going to exercise if that option is in the money. So let's say the strike price is $100, okay, and you've got an obligation to sell at 100. All right, if the price goes up, if the market price goes up to 200, you ask, does that benefit you? Well, the buyer is going to execute at the strike price of 100. They're going to buy that asset from you for $100 when it's really worth 200. They can turn around and sell it for 200, and they would make the profit. So that does not benefit you. What if the price goes down? So the strike price is 100, and say the market price goes down to 50. Okay, so you've got an obligation to sell if the buyer exercises. Okay, so if the strike price is 100 and the market price is 50, the buyer has a right to buy at 100, but they're not going to exercise. Okay, so what happens? That call is going to expire worthless, and you received premium for that call because you were the writer, so you benefit from price decreases. Okay, so you have a short position. Okay, and then what about puts? Okay, a long or a purchase put. Okay, this is a right but not an obligation to sell at that strike price. So you've got a right to sell at, again, let's say 100. Okay, so you've got a right to sell at 100. Okay, what if the price increases to 200? You're not going to exercise and sell at 100 if the market price is 200. So a price increase is not going to benefit you. What if the price decreases? So the underlying asset decreases in price, it goes down to 50. You've got a right to sell at 100. That benefits you because you can sell at 100 when the asset's really only worth 50. Okay, so this is also a short position in the underlying asset. So a long put, because puts benefit from price decreases, are actually short positions in the underlying asset. And then if you're short a put, that is if you write a put, then the person that buys that has the right to buy it, and you would be, they have the right to sell, and you would be obligated to buy at the strike price if they exercise. So again, what if our strike price is 100? Okay, and what if the underlying asset has a price increase? Okay, so the price increases to 200. You've got an obligation to buy at 100 if the buyer exercises. Okay, well, is the buyer going to exercise if the market price is 200 and your strike price is 100? They don't want to exercise that. They don't want to let a $200 asset go to you for $100. Okay, so what are they going to do? They are not going to exercise, and the put will expire worthless, but you will get to receive the premium. So that benefits you. So you benefit from price increases, so that's a long position. Okay, so sometimes your benefit, if you're the writer, your benefit could be that you get the premium. Okay, because sometimes the premium is your maximum profit. Okay, we can also categorize options by the maximum gain or the maximum loss. And here I find it helpful to try and remember what the graphs look like. So for example, with a long forward and a short forward, remember that a forward graph looks like this. Here you've got your spot price, ST. Okay, and your strike price, let's say your strike price is right here, then a long forward looks like this. Okay, this is your K. And if the market price, the spot price here is above the strike price, then that forward will have positive value, because you have an obligation, if you're long forward, you have an obligation to buy at the strike price. So if market price is higher, you're locking in your price for lower than market. That's a good deal. So what could happen here? What could be your maximum loss and your maximum gain? Well, here, if your spot price just keeps on increasing, could potentially keep increasing and be unlimited, well, then your profit here, actually your payoff with the forward, is going to become unlimited. Okay, this graph is going to keep going up and up. Okay, so that's why this is unlimited. This is max gain. But your maximum loss here is actually going to be the forward price, or, oh, I'm sorry, actually this should be F, not K. That should be the forward price, not strike price. Strike is for option, and F is for forward contracts. Now, this has a slope of 1. It's a dollar for dollar increase after you pass the forward price. So this is actually going to hit the y-axis here at minus F. And that's your maximum loss. And it occurs at the spot price of ST equals 0. So if you've got an obligation to buy this at the forward price, and if the market price decreases to 0, okay, somehow the company or the commodity that you've entered into an agreement to purchase becomes worthless, then you could lose that whole forward price. So this is minus F. So negative of the forward price is your max loss. If you're short a forward, okay, then your loss and gain are just switched. Okay, so this is just a reflection over the y-axis here. So this is your long forward up here, and then your short forward, you just reflect over the y-axis. That looks like this in the blue. This is your short forward. So you're obligated to sell at that forward price of F. Now, if the spot price goes to 0, if the market price goes to 0, then you could sell for the forward price something that's worthless. So that whole forward price that you get is gain. So that's your maximum gain, is the forward price. And this is at spot price of 0. However, if the spot price increases, you're obligated to sell at the forward price. And if that spot price increases, it could, theoretically go to infinity. If you're short the forward, you're obligated to sell something that, its value keeps going up, but you're obligated to sell it at a fixed price. So you're losing money on that asset. So in other words, you've got a $200 stock and you're forced to sell it for $100. So you're taking a loss of $100 by being forced to sell that for the forward price. If the market price went up to $300, then you got a $200 loss. 300 minus 100. If the market price goes up to $400, you got a $300 loss. 400 minus 100. Okay, and it can keep going. So here, notice that these guys switch for the long and short position. Okay, and that will happen for every type of derivative agreement that we look at here. So, for example, if you've got a long call, a purchased call, we're going to talk about max loss and max gain. Remember, we looked at what the graph of a long call looks like. We've got a strike price of K, and here is our spot price on the x-axis, and then our payoff is on the y-axis. And a long call, if you are below the strike price, K, what happens is you're not going to execute your contract, so you're going to lose your premium. So you have a constant amount of loss here, which is the negative of your accumulated premium. And then after the spot price exceeds the strike price, then your call starts to gain value, dollar per dollar. So it looks like that. So if the spot price keeps increasing, then the value of your call is going to keep on increasing. Okay, because you get to buy that asset for a fixed price, but its market price is continually going up. So you've potentially got unlimited gains here. So this is unlimited. And then, but if price goes down, even if it goes down to zero, the worst you could do is lose the accumulated value of your premium. So this is negative future value of your premium. So notice that yes. Yeah, well, I wanted to make the note that these are the same and these are the same, but we haven't discussed short call yet. So, okay, well, what if you are short a call? What if you write the call? Okay, then what happens is your profit is the negative of a long call. So this is a long call here, LC, and short call is going to look like this. It's just going to be the mirror reflection over the horizontal axis. So here, if you write a call, you benefit from price decreases. As long as the market price stays below K, then you keep your call premium as profit. And once the market price starts increasing above that, then you start losing money. That contract starts decreasing in value. So if the spot price could increase theoretically to infinity, then your profit, the amount of your loss, could go to infinity, because you've given someone else the right to buy at that fixed price. So you could have an asset that's worth $100,000 and they have a right to buy it at $100, and you lose almost everything. Okay, so here your maximum loss is unlimited. So you see that these two are the same. And these two were not the same, they were negatives of each other. That's what I'm indicating with the arrows. There's a relationship. It's not that they're the same, they're equal, but they're negatives of each other. And then your maximum profit here will just be the accumulated value of the premium. Okay, so max gains future value of the premium, which notice is the negative of your max loss in the long position. So notice the relationship between those guys. And then if you've got a long put, okay, puts are a right but not an obligation to sell, then remember those graphs look like this. Here you've got spot price. Oh, let's go ahead and label this here. This was the short call here. Okay, and your long put looks like this. It starts out positive and then decreases to once it reaches the strike price. Once the spot price reaches the strike price, then it levels off, and all you've lost there is your accumulated value of your premium. Okay, that's the profit graph for a long put. So this is LP. Okay, so our maximum profit happens here when spot price is 0. So our max gain here is going to be, well, at spot price of 0, this is going to be the strike price minus this distance here, which is the accumulated value of the premium. Okay, so strike minus future value of the premium. That's this value right here. Okay, and that's going to happen when ST equals 0 again. And then your max loss happens for any price over the strike price, and that's just going to be the the accumulated value of the premium. So this is negative future value of the premium. Okay, and then notice that that these guys here are negatives of each other, and these are also going to be negatives of each other. This is labeled incorrectly. This is strike minus forward value, future value of the premium. This should be future value of the premium minus the strike price. So this should actually be in here. Okay, and let's think about that. If you have a short put, then that's going to be negative profit of the long put. So that's going to look like this. So notice that for a short put, a written put, that your maximum loss happens when the spot price is 0. And when the spot price is 0, then you are going to be at accumulated value of the premium minus the strike price. Because if the accumulated value of the premium was not included here, this graph would look like this. It would be the payoff graph would max out at 0, and then the min would be when you're at negative strike price. So that's accumulated value of the premium minus the strike. And then once the market price is past the strike price, then your premium, your profit maxes out here at the accumulated value of the premiums. So when you write a put, you give someone else the right to sell at K. So if the market price increases over K, they're not going to exercise that right to sell. They're just going to let the contract expire worthless. You get to keep your premium here. Okay, so notice that these guys are negatives of each other. Okay, so I think you'll find it helpful to remember what those graphs look like, and that'll help you in particular situations. For example, here in 4.3, we have got a short forward with a strike price of 500, and a forward does not have a premium, and we want to know what's the max loss and what's the max gain here. Okay, well, the max loss for a forward, we're short forward here, so that looks like this. So as the spot price goes to infinity, the loss could go to minus infinity. Okay, so your max loss here could be minus infinity. And then your maximum gain for a short forward is going to be when the spot price is 0. So if the value of the asset decreases to 0, then you're short the forwards. You've got a right to sell for the forward price, which is in this case 500. So you've got a right to sell for 500, and the market value is 0. So your maximum gain here is going to be 500. And there's no premium to consider. Okay, what if you have a short call? Okay, and the strike price is 100. Premium was 755, and now we have to take into consideration this 6% rate. Let's actually find the future value of these premiums ahead of time here. So the accumulated value, this is the call premium, so the accumulated value of the call premium is 755, and these are 6-month contracts, and this is 6% compounded semi-annually, and so that's going to be 3% per semi-annual period. So this is going to be 755 times 1.03 is going to be the accumulated value there, which is 778. And then the accumulated value of this put premium, that's FV of P, is going to be $4.30. And this is again a 6-month contract and 6% semi-annually, so that'll be again times 1.03 to get the accumulated value of the premium after 6 months. And that is 443. Alright, so if we are short a 100 strike call, then we sold the call, we're giving someone else the right to buy. Okay, so that looks like this. Our maximum profit here is just going to be the accumulated value of the premium, and that's the 778 here. So that's the most we can make if we sell a call. We get to keep the premium if the other party doesn't exercise. But our maximum loss, well, for a short call here, if the market price of the asset keeps increasing, then we're giving someone else the right to buy that for a fixed price. So we're going to have to buy the asset at market in order to sell it to them at that fixed price, unless we already own the asset. In that case, we're giving up profit that we could have had. So our potential loss here is going to be minus infinity. Okay, and then if we're long a put and $50 is the strike price, so a long put, that's the black graph here, we make money as prices decrease. So our maximum loss is if the price increases over $50. Anything over $50, all we do is lose the premium that we paid for that put. It's limited loss here. So the accumulated value of the premium there is going to be the 443. So negative 443 is our max loss. And then our gain, our maximum gain, is going to happen when the spot price is 0. So we've got a long put, we've got a right to sell for 50. If the spot price went down to 0, then we would receive the $50. But then we had to pay 443 for the contract. So this would be 50 minus 443. Which is going to be 45 and 57 cents.